Vibes are high for the Bolts. Welcome to kickoff of NFL Live. July 16th, the first training camp now officially open. Coach Harbaugh and the Chargers first on the field for camp. They're in the Hall of Fame game, preseason opener 2 weeks from tomorrow. Joe Alt, Pro Bowl left tackle of the future, it seems, for LA, and Khalil Mack, 9-time Pro Bowl selection, 5 times on the All-Pro team. Welcome to our home field alongside Jeremy Fowler, Mike Tannenbaum. I'm Phil Murphy. Mike Reese is waiting in the shadows. Booger McFarland is a satellite connection away. Boys, 50 days from kickoff to the NFL regular season. And offseason's done. And with the Bolts now opening NFL training camp, preseason is officially in. I can say offseason window is done. The Chargers still in search of a first division crown since 2009. Mixed bag for Justin Herbert, 2024. Set career highs, good in wins and touchdown to interception ratio. Also had career worsts in sacks taken. And related news, pass yards per game. Also had that disaster in the wild card loss, throwing 4 picks. Chargers only called the design pass play 59% of their snaps. That's the 10th lowest rate in the league. Hat tip there to offensive coordinator Greg Roman. Jeremy, now year 2 for Herbert and Roman together. What are the expectations for this offense in 2025?
Well, they're going to double down on the running game. This is a Greg Roman offense. They're going to do what they do and run the ball. They felt they could have ran the ball better last year, but they also want to find, with Justin Herbert, ways to get the vertical outside passing game going when defenses expect them to throw it. They can't just rely on the running game and the play action. So they need rookie Trey Harris, Quentin Johnston, Mike Williams that they reacquired to get that done. They're going to rely a little bit more on Herbert with the passing game they did a year ago, and you can see him actually run the ball a little bit more, be involved in some of the play action stuff using his legs. They don't want to break him. They want to be careful with him, but you can see an uptick there.
Jeremy, the other thing they're going to do is they're going to get sacked less, and here's why. They drafted Omarion Hampton in the first round. He is an explosive running back, average over 5 yards per carry. The other thing he does is he will be involved in the passing game. Caught 73 passes at North Carolina, and what Greg Roman wants to do, Jeremy, to your point, he wants to run the ball and play action. And Booger, you know this as a former defensive lineman. What's the best way to slow down a pass rush? Run the ball right at the defense. So I think Omarion Hampton really accomplishes 2 things. It diversifies the offense, and I think the number of sacks, that 41 number, will be reduced this season for the Chargers.
Those are dividends of recent off seasons, plural, focusing on the O-line. They drafted O-line in the first round 3 times between 2021 and 24. All 3 now start, and they go out and sign Mekhi Becton in free agency. But that's in addition to leading the league in scoring defense for the first time since they were in the AFL. But Joey Bosa departs for Buffalo. What are your expectations on that side of the ball?
Yeah, my expectations are still high. It's because of how Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, runs their defense. So you talked about Bosa being gone, but think about this. Last year, linebackers and DBs combined for 31.5 sacks for the Chargers, which was 4th most in the NFL. And I think when you look at that, they had 46 sacks total, so over 75% of their sacks came from the back 7. What does that mean? That means Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, does a tremendous job of scheming up offenses and allowing free guys to get to the quarterback. So I know you got Max still there up front and Bosa's gone, but I just love the schematic way that their defense deploys against offenses. You never know who's coming, and because of that, that's the reason they led the league in scoring defense last year, and I think they're going to be right up there again this year.
Jeremy, with camp open, this is kind of the baton pass from off-season to preseason, but some contract business remains unfinished. What's going on there?
Yeah, Rashawn Slater, the Chargers are prioritizing trying to extend their star left tackle. They want to get that done. Last I checked on it, I was told that we're working on it. So nothing hard and fast about this being imminent, but they're going to try to push this through our camp, figure out something to get him locked up long term. And then Trey Harris, the 2nd-round pick. This is fascinating. 30 second-rounders have not signed their contract yet because the Houston Texans, when they gave wide receiver Jaden Higgins a fully guaranteed deal, the rest of these agencies players in the 2nd round said, hey, we want that. So we're going to wait this out. Now with camps approaching, teams starting to report more and more, you should see some urgency and these sides to try to find a middle ground. But for now, Trey Harris and others unsigned.
Well, reason for confidence, contract business notwithstanding, Justin Herbert owns the NFL record for most passing yards by any player through his first 5 seasons in the NFL. Now need to translate that to postseason success. Jeremy, your offseason position rankings have hit the wide receivers. Jeremy spoke with executives, coaches, and scouts league-wide. Here's where they landed Amongst wideouts, reigning Triple Crown winner Ja'Marr Chase and fellow Bayou Bengal Justin Jefferson are 1-2. Then it's Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown. The only second-year receiver in the top 10 is Malik Neighbors. Meanwhile, Terry McLaurin, amongst the honorable mentions, a group that includes a ton of talent, Puka Nacua, Brian Thomas, DK Metcalf, T. Higgins. McLaurin, for his part, skipped minicamp and voiced concern yesterday with his contract negotiations.
I've been pretty frustrated, I'm not gonna lie. Everything that has transpired up until this point has been disappointing and frustrating. I've wanted to continue my career here. I've created my life here. My wife and I have bought our first home here, so this has been somewhere where I've always wanted to be. I haven't decided that yet. I'm trying to take things day by day, and I think that's the disappointing part, where I was hoping up until this point things would clear up a lot more than they have.
Frustrating and disappointing, Jeremy, not warm and fuzzy adjectives. The haven't decided that yet was in regard to McLaurin potentially skipping camp when it opens next week. What's going on with these negotiations?
Yeah, Phil, I'm told that what McLaurin said is only scratching the surface of his frustration. There have been no meaningful talks between the Commanders and McLaurin this summer, and it's an issue of the marketplace being around that $30 million mark. You're seeing even receivers that are in McLaurin's weight class or less. Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins getting deals around $30 million or more. Garrett Wilson, we just saw it. I'm told the Commanders are simply not in that space. Based on the indications that they have given McLaurin, he feels like he belongs there, so somebody's going to have to give. And I checked with a source who said, look, anything might be possible. McLaurin does not want to be traded. The Commanders, I'm told, firmly do not plan to trade him. But does he make this more difficult and take the next step and ask for a trade request or hold out? Anything feels possible right now, even though he does, at the end of the day, want to be there.
Yeah, guys, it's mid-July. I mean, you hear this all the time. Disgruntled, upset. Look, it's mid-July. If we're in late August, it's a different sort of feeling. And look, Terry McLaurin's a great player. Great stat. Over the last 5 years, he leads the NFL in tight window catches. And when you're a young, up-and-coming quarterback like they have in Jayden Daniels, you want somebody that can make those contested catches. And Jeremy, to your point about him not going anywhere, just follow the logic. You have an emerging quarterback. You acquired Laramie Tunsil and Deebo Samuel. They're not doing that to trade arguably, their best non-quarterback in Terry McLaurin. I'm sure there is a landing spot. Adam Peters and Dan Quinn have done a great job building this team in really short order. So again, throw out the high and the low, find a landing spot that both sides can live with, and you move on. He also brings great intangibles, which I know is something Dan Quinn values. So again, it's mid-July. Let's keep it in perspective.
Mike T, I would love to get your take on this. To me, this is not that hard. Okay, throw out Justin Jefferson, throw out Ja'Marr Chase. And if you look at the high number being 34, 35 then, and you look at where T. Higgins came in at 28, put him somewhere in the middle. That's number one. Number two, you trade for Deebo Samuel, you add a little money to him. So Deebo's making somewhere around 21 right now. McLaurin, in my opinion, is a far better receiver than Deebo. So he's got to be north of 28, 29, 30 million. To me, this is not really that hard of a deal, Mike T.
Yeah, but